I first met Donnie in 2003 while I was doing outreach on the streets in Fredericton. And if any of you are weather buffs, you might remember that that was the year of the big ice storm. And Donnie was sleeping out by the overhang under the old Hart Shoe Factory. And during the day, he would come into the community health clinic and get a shower and just hang around with us and stay warm. Since I was a volunteer there, often my job was just to sit with Donnie and to try to encourage him to come inside on the bitterly cold nights. Usually Donnie wasn't very receptive to that idea, and we would offer what we could to help. As I talked with Donnie, he would tell me stories of his life. The one thing that Donnie said to me that winter that stuck with me all of this time was how every night before he went to sleep, he would say, "Good night, Jesus, I'm going to sleep now." And when he woke in the morning, he would say, "Good morning, Lord. Thank you for keeping me through the night." And it would make me think of the verse in Luke chapter 9, verse 58, which says, "The foxes have holes and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head." Donnie also would tell me that when he was lonely at night and he couldn't sleep because of the cold, he would listen to the dogs barking over at the Southpaw Veterinarian Clinic, and that would make him feel just a little bit less alone. So because of that, I've made a donation to the SPCA in Donnie's name. But I want to leave you with a humorous story of Donnie, and there's lots, but one day I had made an appointment at a high-end hair salon here in town, and when I went in, I didn't notice that Donnie was sleeping under the tree, but after I was finished there and I was all gussied up with my makeup done and everything, I started to leave, and I heard the front desk discussing this homeless man that was sleeping on their lawn and they were going to call the police. And I looked out and I saw who it was. So I said, just leave it to me, I'll take care of it. So I went out and I woke Donnie up and told him to come and get in my car. And I needed to assist him a little bit, so together we were shuffling along, me looking my best and Donnie looking the worse for the wear, when another woman came out of the salon and she looked at me with pure disgust. And I never missed a beat. I looked her right in the eye and I said, "You could be the one leaving with him if you'd played your cards right, but I got to him first." So we had quite the chuckle over that. But Donnie, I just want you to know that someone in this world has positive memories of you. And just rest easy, old friend.
Mavis. Anyway, my dealings with Donnie were quite a bit different than what Mavis was saying. But anyway, I met Donnie probably around 1998. The meeting place was doing the community kitchen supper on Wednesday nights, and all kinds of characters used to come in, and some were in better shape than others. Donnie was, you never quite knew when. But anyway, as I found Donnie most of the time, you used to see him on the street. He was a true homeless person who, as Mavis said, slept outside. He could be anywhere. If you wanted to try to track him down, there were different places that you went. He had a nice Chesterfield under one of the warehouses out by where the new liquor store is. And the biggest thing that I did for Donnie was transport him to St. John to detox. And I did many trips. And we had a routine that we followed. I'd pick up Donnie, or try to find him, and off we'd go, and we got down to Wellsford. And just before we got there, I'd say, "Donnie, do you need some cigarettes?" Yeah, he's going to be there for a while, so have a few smokes. And I'd say, "Would you like any pop?" Yes, he'd like pop. What kind? Coke. And so I'd go in, pick them up, he'd thank me, and I'd take him down. this routine used to go on every year that I transported him down there. The interesting thing was that I don't know whether he had met the young fellow who I took down to Ridgewood, and we arrived at Wellsford, and I asked the young man, would you like some smokes? He said yes. And I said, would you like to have a pop? He said yes. I said, what kind? He said 7-Up. I said, hey man, you're going to make it. Everybody else can smoke. But anyway, I think in knowing Donnie over the years, he had a good friend named Al Bowser. Al Bowser is no longer with us. And at his funeral, Donnie wanted to go. And one of these pictures over here was taken out at Kelly's. And Donnie was dressed to the nines. And he had the beard trimmed. And he had great compassion for some people. And he could have his moods. He'd be great and happy and whatnot. And then the next time you met him, he'd be off a little. But he used to, if you met him on the street or he'd drop by, he always had to have he'd ask for $5 for a prescription. So anyway, where you got it didn't really matter. I guess there were quite a few different drugstores that we went to. But it just, Donnie wasn't a guy who, certainly with me, who would sit down and tell me all about his life and whatnot. But there were areas I know that he had trouble, and I think the one thing is that Donnie, along with a lot of other people who suffer from addictions and whatnot, I understood where he was coming from, because I had been brought up in an alcoholic environment and really understood what it takes to really overcome that addiction. And Donnie, I mean, there were times that he worked for a gentleman by the name of Byron Bamford. Byron's no longer with us. He died about 1.5 years ago. I went to school with his brother, and he had done some stuff over on Dune Street, and Byron had a bit of a little carnival that he would set up. And lo and behold, Donnie was the guy who did all the mechanics and everything with it. And at Lone Water Farm, he used to repair all their tractors. It was a working farm in those days. And he was a great mechanic. He also was a wonderful wood carver. And I know he gave Kelly what he called his praying hands, which he still has together, that he had carved. He had, and I would say that he lived actually with Byron for a number of years, and he was fairly stable during that time because he was able to work at stuff that he loved doing, and that's one of the biggest things in dealing with addiction, if you can find a place to keep busy at. So it's, I don't know, I'm going to miss this guy, no doubt about it. And I just, I know where he is, and that's the wonderful thing about it, is that Donnie knew the Lord, and I'll meet him again someday. Thank you so much.